Hello everyone and welcome back. I am Duke Silver. Today we are playing Celestial Tiger. Nothing to go over before we get into it, so let's just go right on in. So we start off with a roll the dice, which picks up a Lonely Prince. Unfortunately, we don't get a royal in our next shop, but we do get a Forbidden Fruit, which is going to allow us to buy a third character. We do take a bunch of damage here. We're down to 32 on 2.2, which is a pretty big fall here. And we're probably going to fall further as we don't really pick up a lot of stats in our 2.2 shop. Unfortunately, our roll the dice hits a Woggle, which is usually fine on its own, but on heroes like this that want treasures in general, I think Woggle's is a little bit less valuable, just because you can get ahead in other ways. So it's kind of spending health and tempo trying to get Woggles to slay, then generally ends up being not worth it as you're also spending a lot of tempo and resources trying to get your treasures. Poly does not slay there, and we do lose this one. So we're down to 27 on 3.1, which again, not great, but we do have a poly pair here, so that's at least something. And yeah, we took this baby dragon pair as well, but then we're faced with the stag pair, and I think instead of selling the poly pair, we're going to sell the baby dragon pair. Baby dragon and stag just compete for slots too much. And I think the stag is just a little bit more valuable as we can get some stats onto these polys. And unfortunately, we do manage to not slay anything as well, even with some stag stats. We take a huge chunk of damage. We're on 16 on 3.2, so we are getting absolutely demolished. And I think this is a good example of why I think it's pretty bad to take poly. Because if it just doesn't get there, then you're left with just these absolutely awful units on board for way too long. And we also kind of need to chase treasures, but we do fortunately find another poly, which is going to be our triple here. We go for the roll the dice, trying to hit the poly, but we do end up hitting the lucky instead. And now we have to sell something to get this poly treasure. We need to get the treasure. We need to get some kind of tempo happening here. So we're gonna sell the lucky. I think that's the best thing to sell here, and we're gonna go with a shepherd sling. Doubled, giving our whole board +2/+2 is a lot of stats, and we're even on 3.2. Normally I wouldn't want the poly to slay here. I would try and wait a turn, but because we're at such low health, I think we need to just kind of accept that this is kind of the best that we can do here, and just get the poly slay as soon as possible. And we do get the poly slay. It turns into a golden hippocampus, which is honestly, it's a lot of stats. So this is definitely one of the better hits, I think. So we can now buy 2-cost animals. I don't think we're gonna buy mouse in particular, but also we've got a couple animals up front that we can still triple. So we're very interested in that. But yeah, basically we can turn 2-cost animals into just 1 gold, put +4 HP on hippocampus. Also, we get to pick up a pair. So that's nice. We are going to pick up this Wizard's Familiar. I didn't get the mouse just because if we're collecting Wizard's Familiars, we might want to triple it at some point. I figured that's not the case with mouse because we just don't really care about level 4 treasures. And also I think Familiars have kind of a higher upside. We managed to buy a couple here, and we're gonna actually buy this Princess Peep as well, just because we need this hippo to carry us basically. So I think buying summons here is worth it. We don't get our full summon value, but we get this hippo up to 29 HP, which is a ton. Also, shout out to Matt Place, the founder of one of the founders of Good Luck Games, who is on Phoenix Angel in this game, and that's who we just played and barely managed to beat. Okay, we find a treasure map on our stag triple, which also gets our hippocampus up to 27. So now we really need to find this pig triple. We can't cast a spell until we get it. So unfortunately, we find the pig triple immediately on our next roll, and yeah, we're gonna get a 4.0 or 4.1 world tree here. And now shard will hit anything. At first, I was like, I don't know what to hit with the shard. We want to get this treasure from the Cindy. And then I do remember that I can just shard the Cindy and we will still get the treasure. But none of the other ones I really wanted to get rid of. Picking up the Puff Puff on 4.1 is fantastic with World Tree. We get our level 2 treasure, and we find a monster manual to go with our World Tree here as well. So Celestial Tiger enhanced monster manual with World Tree, and we've got a Puff Puff. Yeah, as long as we don't die in the next combat or two, like we're gonna start getting some real stats onto our board, which is fantastic. Not to mention this this hippo now is any character we buy is gonna get bigger. We got our pig gold out of that one, and actually knocked Sphinx out of the game, which is fantastic for us. One less opponent to deal with. We're going to pick up a Feasting Dragon, which may not be the greatest thing here because we're already scaling our shop. I thought maybe we would be able to scale our shop a little bit faster. We do find a Court Wizard, which is absolutely fantastic, but we do kind of want to play it up front. Just because we want to get the monster manual stats onto the Court Wizard and just get the attack up as soon as possible. So I think we're gonna play this one up front. And look at that shop. We get another chicken to cycle, as well as we get to take another Court Wizard, and we get to have a Court Wizard triple waiting for next turn, which we are going to take just because it's going to combine into a bunch of stats, and we can find more Court Wizards later because it's early enough here. And again, we're going to play one Court Wizard up front. We are going to play Feasting Dragon in one just to hope to get that Slay. Unfortunately, we didn't. So we're probably going to give up on the Feasting Dragon right after that, but yeah, so for those that don't know, the reason that Puff Puff is so good with World Tree this early is because every time all your characters are Puff Puffs, right? All the characters in the shop are Puff Puffs. So every time Puff Puff dies, it's scaling everything in your shop, scaling everything that you have, and it also scales all your summons, because all your summons are technically Puff Puffs, and they count as they count the buff that Puff Puff gives to all Puff Puffs everywhere. So yeah, that's why Puff Puff is so good if you can get it early. I mean, like it's basically like getting a Blessing of Athena every turn plus a gingerbread party. So there's just like a lot of value that adds up over time. There's another summon character which I'm kind of interested in, just because we have this hippo still, and we do still want to be scaling that. Also, like I just said, with the Puff Puff, every time Puff Puff dies, it's making all of our summons bigger as well. We do get a Feasting Dragon Slay, and unfortunately a Rotten Apple goes onto our hippo, the worst possible thing for it too. We lose near 100 health out of that. Fortunately, our summons are big enough that it doesn't really matter. We managed to knock out another opponent, and we proc our Krampus Slay, so we're going to get our 5 gold, plus we're going to get another spell, or get another treasure. It should be 3 of Swords here, but I do go with Book of Spells because I momentarily forgot that I was Tiger. The reason that I don't really like Big Book of Spells on Tiger is because you get 3 spells per shop, which is great if you're casting spells, but if you're looking for characters, it cuts into the shop. So you actually see 1 less character per shop, which is a pretty big detriment. So we're going to replace it immediately. We're going to replace it with Merlin's Hat, and we're going to cast this Make-A-Wish for 1. And now we've got 16 gold left to spend here on this turn, so we need to pick some things up quick because we are running out of time. Find a second Puff Puff, which we're absolutely going to jam. We're going to take it over the Feasting Dragon here. I did consider taking the other Feasting Dragon, but decided against it, and we take the pigs instead. Our Puff Puffs are scaling our summons, so it seemed worth it. They do manage to steal our quite large Princess Peep here. And yeah, as you can see, our summons kind of a little, they're at Geppetto level of getting stats per summon now. They're basically getting plus 6/6 I think right now. Yeah, plus 6/6 from the Puff Puffs. All right, and we go to 6, and yeah, now we start assembling our World Tree endgame comp, and we're going to start with an Oni Tyrant. Oni Tyrant's a great pickup early, and there's an Ashwood to go right along with it. So we're going to snap that up, and we're going to cast this Gigantify onto it, giving it plus 10 health, and an extra 10 attack to everything on our board. It's a little bit hard to decide what to play here. I still want to play the Puff Puffs, just because like we're still relatively early in the game. It's like 5.1. I mean, this opponent's on 6 as well, but yeah, basically, like I think it's early enough that we want to keep trying getting those stats onto our shops and whatnot. Getting stats onto your shop is just like, I think it's a very underestimated way to get stats. We're gonna take a pumpkin here, of course. That's gonna be a great summon for us. And also there's a Expo Natural Growth, which we're gonna jam onto our Ashwood. But yeah, so like when you get a bunch of shop stats, like when you triple a character that has shop stats, if all three of them have stats in the shop, then basically it's going to combine all three of those stats. So for every +1/+1 that you put on your shop, when you triple something, it's giving it +3/+3, right? Which like once you start getting multiples of those, like it just really adds up. And I mean, I guess like everyone kind of knows that because of Feasting Dragon, but I think in general it's maybe something that's sort of overlooked, just how valuable that can be. And you can see the size of this good boy. It's a nice 11/11 just to start because of these puff bonuses, which is fantastic. And the reason that scaling those puffs early is so good. I was looking at the Soultack, but I think we can get away with not taking the Soultack here. He does protect our pumpkin as well as our court wizard, but again, I think we're okay. I mean, we got on World Tree so early that we don't really need we just don't really need the protection. If we get scammed a little bit, we can still do fine. We're gonna take another court wizard though. Also, this apple tree has over 200 health, so it's like a little bit weird not to be playing it. But I've decided to play the puff instead. And the puff immediately gets scammed, which is unfortunate. But yeah, it's a little bit weird not to play that, and it might even be incorrect. Like playing the puff at this stage in the game is probably greedy now that we're in a top 3 situation here. All right, we knocked Mordred down to 9 though. Then we get another combat against Matt Place. Time to take on the devs. I'm looking at the stat. We're looking at the spell. There's also a puff in that shop, but we're past the point of puffs here, unfortunately. Again, I was looking at the Soultack, but I don't think I need Soultack against what Matt was playing there. All right, we're gonna take a Drink Me potion, basically hoping for Evil Twin. Evil Twin is just incredibly good here. Take another Drink Me potion though. Unfortunately, no Evil Twins on either of those, so we just roll past them. We do still have a lot of gold to work with here, so we are going to lose some as we run out of time here. Unfortunately, just spent a little bit too much time thinking through whether I needed Soultack or not. And that's a very large golden scion in the back row there, so that's a little bit terrifying. Although our court wizard is getting quite large as well. And yeah, that giant friendly spirit, golden friendly spirit, goes onto their siren, which steals our Cupid that got summoned, and then they steal our pumpkin. They steal 2 of our pumpkins, which are very large. They've gotten those good boy and Ashwood stats, so that's a little bit concerning, as they still have a full board of pumpkin stones left. The rest of our board is still very large. So. And we have our own siren here as well. We pop their pumpkin, and fortunately, there's not much out of their pumpkin here. We've just got a ton more stats. This court wizard really dominated this game. We end the combat with our own Siren Steel. So a lot of very relevant Siren Steels in that combat. So definitely a bit wild there. There's a Sign of the Storm on rental with a Mixowizzle, which has over almost 300 health. Another Wombat, but I don't think we're taking Wombat here. We've got the summons we want here, as much as I love Wombats. There's a Lordy though, which we are going to take. We just got to sell a couple things here. I think we're going to sell our Wombat. Yeah, we sell the Oni Tyrant. Just because like the Lordy's just a way more effective version, and we're playing both puffs just because we're against the Ghost. I figure we might as well get our last puff scaling in. Like, why not? I mean, as long as our puffs actually die, and they do. another Siren hit to steal or to end that combat, and we win there. There goes Matt Place losing to Mordred here. So now we just have Mordred left. We go for a Bearstein, but to be honest, I don't know that that's even correct. Again, we've got this apple tree with so much health, but it's unfortunate. It's kind of unfortunate that we're a World Tree board, because I feel like apple tree plays on basically any board except for a World Tree board, where every character is just like pure synergy. Like it's just a big bunch of stats that doesn't. It's just like it's not exactly contributing to the overall power of the comp. And I think we're actually going to cut one Lordy. Yeah, I just kind of it took a while, and then the last second there, we cut one Lordy and play the other Court Wizard here. Just because I don't think we necessarily need the other Lordy. We've already got we've got a Good Boy, we've got an Ashwood. Like there's a ton of stats there. And yeah, we just we've got the with the double pumpkin. I think the second Court Wizard just ends up being a lot more powerful, especially when they've already got 200 health or 200 power. So just adding to that a little bit more. Like a second Lordy is just like an extra sort of flat amount of power. Like it's not even all that much. Like it does kind of get multiplied by the Good Boy, but yeah, I think just getting all the bonus attacks we can with super high power is just more valuable and more reliable. And yeah, it leaves us a lot less susceptible to scam, because if our Court Wizard gets scammed, then there's definitely a chance that we lose. Like our summons aren't all that big. We've got those puff buffs on our summons, but I think Court Wizard is like in general on World Tree boards, Court Wizard is kind of the star of the show. But yeah, let me know if you enjoyed this. Please leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. It really helps the channel, and I really appreciate it. Leaving a like lets YouTube know that it should recommend my content to more people, and I would very much appreciate that. Yeah, I played this live on Twitch. I'm sure you saw a notification or two, and you can see the results in the top right there. Those are the scores from games that I had played on that particular stream. But yeah, it's a fun time over there. I would very much like it if you would come and hang out, and maybe drop a follow over on Twitch as well. And yeah, I stream. Right now I'm streaming Storybook every other day, and I'm streaming every day, but we're doing Storybook every other day, and then the days that I'm not playing Storybook, I'm kind of just doing something else. Like I played a little bit of Inkbound last weekend. I've been playing some Rogue Legacy 2. I played a little bit of Tiny Rogues, and yeah, I was just kind of like sort of variety days, I guess. But yeah, anyways, after that plug's done, I hope you all have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you tomorrow.